Hey, what's up? So I'll show you now how we can execute command line scripts from Gulp. Yeah, I'll just show you that, because if you think about it, I already said that, but Gulp running in node.js environment. This is why I used I could use the path module. So there is another module I will use now. Let me now. I can't type. I'm really tired. So I will require from the child process. This is already built in Node.js. I will require the execute function. This function, you will give it some command lines and it will execute it. For example, I will tell it to remove a recursive force the current directory. And when this finishes, it will execute this function starting with error, and then output. Maybe if you have error, you will do something, maybe console error, else you'll do whatever. But I hate this kind of functions that you pass that will be called when this function, the original function, gets finished asynchronously. I hate these, so I will convert this to a promise based. So const, and you can actually do this by requiring the utilities module. This is already built in the language. So, and get Promisify. Promisify will just wrap any function you give it with a promise, so it will reject and resolve just like a normal promise. Yeah, to convert it, it will Promisify it. So execute async will be equal to Promisify execute. Oops. Okay, very nice. Now I will show you. Basically, most of the time we just did a stream based tasks. We returning the streams, or a normal tasks, which are just functions, pass to them a callback, then we will call this callback to mark them as finished. If you are returning a stream, you need to return that stream to mark the process as finished. Let me now show you a third type. Let me go to our documentation. So I will put a link in the description for this one. I highly recommend that you read this page. It's very informative. So node libraries handle asynchronicity in variety of ways. The most common pattern is error first callback. This is, if you remember when I showed you how we can execute the execute function without the Promisify stuff. You will pass a second argument the function. I mean, I don't like that. I hate this kind of approach. Anyway, but you might also encounter streams. We use that, very powerful, very awesome. And we did not use promises. I will show you now promises. Other stuff you might need, you might not need, but I think you are good to go to do most of the stuff with the promises and the streams, if not all of them. Honestly, I never used actually any of these. Anyway, so let me just show you now promises. So I'll have another function called another Gulp task called execute shell stuff. This will be an asynchronous function, and I will await the execute async. I will give it ls, then I will put this command, then dump.txt. If this video was not useful at all, there is one thing if you don't know it, this will be useful. Let me show it to you. If I typed ls, this will output this to the console. If I put ls, then this character, then dump.txt, this will put the original output in a file called dump.txt in this directory. So this is it. This is really useful. Sometimes I run some command in a framework. I don't need the whole output to be put it in my terminal. I mean, it makes it ugly. It makes it unorganized, right? So I will just put ls. I'll give it a place to put all the output, and I will just ignore that. I usually do this a lot, so this is very helpful. And just to give you more context, if you want, every process in your operating system have three kind of standard I mean, I'm not that expert in this kind of subject, but every process have three stuff. One of them is called standard output, and the standard input, and the standard error. Standard output is this something here. So if you are executing some processes in your terminal, their standard output will be outputted in your terminal like this. To pass an input to a process, this will be called a standard input. So we will do it like this. So I will pass to this process -a. This will also display the hidden files. So we have files and folders. We have the get directory and the previous directory and the current directory. We have also standard error. I don't know how to show an example for that, but when everything error happened, the errors will be added there. These could be files or anything. So what we are doing here is just we are like this, sorry, ls then this. We are like converting or dumping the standard output from this process to this file. This is what we are doing. And by the way, this ls, I saw it once, someone showed it to me, that you can actually see the source code for this stuff. I believe they are called in your operating system at some place they are called the .h or .bash. They are bash scripts at the end. But yeah, this is basically what I'm going to do. I'm just going to dump everything here. Remember, this is like running commands here, so you can actually remove gulp. You can remove your files. You can do anything. So let me just return it. So just remember that you can do anything since this is a Node.js environment, right? Oops, did I remove? Oops, my bad. Let me do it again very fast. So const require child process, sorry. Now execute. Now const require utilities, Promisify, const execute async will be equal to Promisify execute. Now here go and type const execute shell stuff will be equal to async function will await the execute async ls and put it inside dump.txt, and let me remove that. And by the way, if you are awaiting or if you are returning a promise, this one, if I put it here, how gulp will know that this task have been finished? When this promise resolved. Okay, that's it. If this promise resolved, we are good to go. I'm really tired, so yeah. Anyway, see where am I? We have these commands have been finished. We have our dump.txt. So let me now put this one. How about this? Do you know this? I think it's already built in Ubuntu or Linux, but if you give it, for example, let me go to the source, now put tree, you will have a tree representation for that. So let me do this, right? I think this will be a little bit more interesting. So go to source, then tree, and put all of that there. You can do it like this. This is how I can run two commands. So now npm run dev. Yeah, we have it now like this. But as you can see, it's inside our source, not in the root directory. I want it in the root directory. How I can do this? Let me just show you. So you add the output there. So and mv dump.txt to go back the directory, put it there. Let me just remove the browser, I don't need it now. Done, that's it. I hope this was clear. So I'm just going to the source, executing tree, everything from there. I will add it to the dump.txt inside the source here. Then I will remove it from, or I will move this file from the source and go back, since I cd'd into the source, and put it out. So let me run it again and notice what will happen here. You will see the file appears in the source, then this appears and appear here. Just notice. I mean, it's it's really fast, but yeah, I think we can notice. But yeah, this is basically it. I've seen a lot of people execute stuff from the command line here. Thank you. This is Getting Wrong.